Hi, Taurus clan. I'm so excited to sit down and talk with you, mostly because, well, not only are you guys a couple of my dearest friends in the world, but the message that came through I was really excited about because in general, April messages for everybody, I've been kind of like, whoa, where is that coming from? And it's been kind of this mysterious process to get my messages, but for you guys, this is what I got. And I think it's so powerful. It says, and I just wrote this down word for word, of all the fixed signs, Taurus, you have your eyes open to where you are headed next. There's no getting around it. You know what you need to know. And while a lot of the real world actions aren't totally clear, like some of those step-by-step things aren't 100% in focus, the big picture and the larger steps are very clear. And there is something so powerful about having that knowing in you that makes even the biggest changes, even the weirdest, wildest times of your life easier to manage. And I've been saying this, all the fixed signs are getting shaken up moving forward. We are being asked to revolutionize who we are. And of course, you all have one of the most intimate experiences of that right now because Uranus is in your sign and will be in your sign till 2026. And so, you are rolling with the planet of revolution, technology, and innovation. But there's something about it that is really so beautiful for you guys. Yes, Uranus can come with surprise. Yes, Uranus can come with this kind of sense of like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Absolutely. But there's also a steadiness to his energy where he is clear on getting you to where you meant to be. So I feel like that energy is just really strong. And of course, we're prepping for your birthdays. April is always an interesting time. The first part of the month, often I find Tauruses need to kind of go internal a little, maybe check in a little bit. But once that Taurus energy, that sun hits into Taurus, I do feel like the empowerment and the strength that you guys will be exhibiting is going to be so beautiful. And underneath it all, there's just that knowing sense of things. A few other things are going on this month astrologically that I think make for a month that is actually leaving a lot of people feeling that they're a little out of control and a little out of the loop, which is why it's interesting you guys are getting such a clear knowing. We have a new moon in Aries, so we have a new moon in your 12th house. Let's see what's coming out. 3 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Of course. The number of flow, and these threes are so creative and forward-focused and clear and crisp and playful. There's a knowing. Things are just working for you somehow. Things are just working. There's a workability going on with you. So we have a new moon in Aries at 15 degrees of Aries. That is in the sign right before yours, right, on April 5th. And that is kind of this nice moment. Take it if you can, ground, check in, slow down, really rest up on that new moon. And then, of course, we have a full moon in Libra on April 19th. That full moon, 8 of Wands, Queen of Swords. Oh, yeah. Yep. This is exactly the energy I was picking up for Taurus. Yep. That Libra full moon, it's in 6th house energy for you. So it's another one of these moons that's checking in with your physical body, with checking in. So these moons are working with you in a really nice way, which is to just give you like these little boosts of spiritual and physical energy. Queen of Cups, getting the queens. I love it. The queens of knowing, the queens of information on the verbal and on the spiritual energies. It's fantastic. Those moons are really helping you check in. Knight of Cups. Ooh, okay. I like that. There's a lot of forward-focused energy here. We're not doing stuff that has to do with going back over what was, questioning what was, questioning self. We have a lot more energy that's like, I see where I need to go. And I'm going to just keep thinking about that. Ooh, 5 of Cups. Okay, never mind. There is one little bit of grieving, one little bit of checking in with the loss, right? But I think that makes so much sense. When we are growing and we are changing and we are reopening and we are knowing where our path is taking us, and we are seeing that every day we're getting taken in that new direction, and there is no such thing as stopping and slowing down and looking back. The sun, yay! When we're growing like that, it is natural for us to also feel a somewhat deep undergirding sense of sadness, because we are no longer home the way that we used to define home. Our sense of home and our sense of who we are becoming is changing. And so there is kind of a homesickness that can develop as we shift and as we morph and as we grow and as we change. Ooh, I was just looking at the bottom of my deck and it was the Two of Cups. And I'll just leave that overarching this message today. A card of balance and harmony, right? Which is where anything that Uranus does with you guys is geared toward you having balance and harmony. It's not geared towards you having disruptions and damage. It's geared toward having harmony. Now, the other thing that's going on, we got the moons going on. We have Taurus season opening up on the 20th. We have Venus going into your 12th house in Aries on the 20th as well. But we also have outer planets retrograding. Now, this happens about a third of the year every year. These planets go retrograde, and it's a great time to integrate. It's a great time to reassess. It helps us all slow down and release some of our control, retract our claws, release our jaws, and let new information come in, which is why a lot of signs are foggy. You guys, not so much, but we have Jupiter going retrograde on April 10th. That's lasting till August. We have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn until October on April 24th until October 3rd, and then we have Saturn going retrograde on April 29th in Capricorn until September 18th. Now, these three outer planets, these are subtler retrogrades. Like I said, they give us a chance to integrate at a very subtle level. They give us a chance to reevaluate our priorities and our world visions, and they give us a chance to reset our systems. So it's a really nice, slow, gentle thing that's going on there, but we're starting to dive into that. So not only are we getting used to the new Chiron and Uranus transits, we're also dipping into some pretty deep retrogrades in the outer planet. And so all these outer planets, all these long-range transits that we're working with are kind of re-sculpting things. Now let's get into these cards, because I'm telling you what, every single card here, other than the Five of Cups, and even that has an element of flow, is about things working. It's about knowing, and it's about things working. This reading is so cut and dry and clear to me. And here's the thing that's coming up, and I'm getting goosebumps. Taurus, you know what you need to know. You know it. The information's already there. It arrived probably in March. It might be arriving at the beginning of this month, but you already know it. You can resist it. You can try and fog it down. You can try and push it down. But that is going to be pretty difficult for you. So the more you can just relax into this knowing and trust yourself and give yourself that trust, the better. I'm just going to start with these first three, because the three of them together, I mean, this is about building something very good. Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Eight of Wands. Like I said, the threes here are really important. These are energies of flow. These are energies of movement. These are energies, the number three is the sacred number of creation. And when you have threes, this tells me a few things. Actually, we'll put Eight of Wands down for the moment. It tells me that the people you are bringing closer into your life are going to help you in flow. They're going to help you create good physical environments and ideas of your future and what you're manifesting. Opportunities are coming your way, and a lot of these opportunities are coming from things you have shed. The other thing to keep in mind, if you have this energy working with you, you want to focus on relationships that bring this up and out of you. You want to focus on those friendships and those people who bring up and out of you this beautiful, symbiotic, flowing energy that is positive, that is clear and directed. And there's something going on with you guys noticing that this is happening more and valuing these times. The other thing that's interesting about what's going on here is there's a speed to it all. Things are kind of shifting and morphing in a way that's very clear and direct for you. Eight of Wands is a funny energy because it's so simple that it's almost hard to talk about. because it's just movement. It's making things happen. It's like when you're in the car and you're just going down the freeway. You're not stopping and asking like, ooh, where am I going? I don't know. You know that you're going to get off at exit 480 and you know that you're going to do this thing. So you're just in the car and you're just going. You know, it's not one of those times where you're on a country road and it's like winding and then you end up on a dirt road that's a dead end and then you have to turn around. It's like Eight of Wands is just like, here we go, let's go. And not only that, Eight of Wands is next to Queen of Swords, which is, she's a truth bringer. And here's the one thing I'm going to say about you guys in general is that you kind of are embodying this Queen of Swords energy. Now you might have a blunt communicative personality around you for sure. You could have some Queen of Swords around you, but I really feel that this is you guys. And the reason I'm saying that is we have all this forward motion, right? And this is the Queen of Boundaries. When she's at her best, when she's at her highest functioning and her most positive, the Queen of Swords is a boundary queen. You know, pick up a Brene Brown book, and Queen of Swords is Brene Brown's advice when she's at her best, right? She's like, I don't do that because that's not love. I don't do that because that's not going to work with my schedule. I can't do that because I am overworked. Whatever boundaries you're needing to set, they're coming up this month. And that is part of what is helping you to create this beautiful new stuff with people. It's part of what is giving you the space and the allowance for the creative projects you want to do. So the Queen of Swords is really a power play for you this month. Pay attention to where you're wanting to draw lines in the sand because you're supposed to. And I don't think it's going to be hard for you. And part of the reason I say that is you also have Queen of Cups. Now, these two queens work kind of beautifully together, despite the fact that they're so different. Because if you have the Queen of Swords here, setting clear boundaries, you have the Queen of Cups backing her up saying, yes, that feels intuitively correct to me. That feels like a direct reflection of what I'm really needing behind the scenes. So yes, I can set this healthy boundary because I am highly aware of how that feels for me inside. So you're represented here in two queens. Now, the other thing with these two queens is if you have people like this around you in your life, they will also be good for you. You know why? Because they will also set healthy boundaries and be very clear with what they need. And they will be empathic with you. They will take the time to check in with you. These queens each have very powerful skill sets that we actually need to embody. These are healthy femininities. These are healthy divine feminines that when we institute them in our lives, we benefit greatly. One is on the harsher side of femininity. One is on that truth bringing, and one is on the gentle, nurturing, intuitive side. And if you have both of these working in concert together, you find that life starts to work for you in ways where you feel deeper senses of self-trust, self-knowing, and direction. And it's not always about pre-knowing the plan, right? It's a lot of times it's just about knowing that right now in this moment, I know I'm honoring myself. I know I'm doing what I need to do. Therefore, everything else has to be okay, right? That sense of knowing is so strong for Taurus this month. Now, you have an interesting layout here with the last three cards because you have an influx of new energy coming in, you have a point of grieving, and then you have an influx of more energy coming in. The Knight of Cups is on its way with you guys, and this is a romantic card. This is a deeply sensitive, loving, romantic, playful, almost theatrical energy. I love the Knight of Cups. It's like flowers and poetry and song and wearing your heart on your sleeve and being open and being able to share of yourself fully. So you might have energy coming up. I mean, for me, I love that Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups are here because I think, Taurus, you guys need these people who wear their heart on their sleeve and share and give the way that you do. I feel like you need people around you that can be here in this space with you and let you know it's okay to share in that. And it doesn't have to be water signs. It just has to be people who embody that sense that they hold space for you, they enjoy you, and they care. And that it's not difficult to share that space together, right? Also, these are just very intuitive energies. These are energies that act and create based on what feels good to their hearts, what feels good to their souls. They listen into that before they take steps. And that's a part of your knowing, and that's a part of your process right now. And it will be reflected in the people that show up. The more you're trusting in that, the more you will find that the people that show up are people that hold that space with you. You do have Five of Cups in your conversation, and I do have to say, like I said When you're growing this much, when you're changing this much, when you're knowing where you have to go, there is a homesickness. There is a sense that, you can look at where home was. You can look at who you were was. That was an interesting sentence. You can look at who you were. That's how that sentence goes. You can look at who you were, and you can know that you're no longer there. And there is a point of grief in that, right? But the Five of Cups is also a calibrator, even though 5 is not a number that can be balanced really, right? Because it's the doorway between what was lost and what is about to be enjoyed. It is the doorway between the grief and the excitement. It is the space, it is the hallway between two worlds. And I don't think this month is actually dominated by this energy, but I do think this. I think in your growth and in your expansion, you will have very poignant moments of checking in with this Five of Cups energy. And it may scare you because you'll be thinking, oh my God, is this going to be how I feel all the time? No. It will come, it will visit with you, you will let it flow through, and it will leave. And that's how simple it will be. But it is important to take the time to grieve anything that has been lost, that has shifted, that has changed shape. Now, in the wake of that grief, we have the sun. And the sun is so much, the sun is going into your sign. The sun is lighting up Taurus energy. Uranus is lighting up Taurus energy. These signs, these energies that are so much about play and revolution and creativity are coming to hang out with you. And I think that's such a gift for all of us, right? You guys are Venus ruled. You are connected to the Empress. You're connected to the beauty of creation. And the sun is obviously a creative card. It's associated with Leo and the heart chakra and children and all these fun, beautiful, carefree energies. And at the end of the day, what this is telling me is that you are meant to feel joy and playfulness. You are meant to feel light. You are meant to feel creative. You are meant to feel free. And everything that's happening this month is in service to that. You know that this is where you want to be. You know you don't want to be in the trenches digging away. You know you don't want to be suffering. You know you want to be using your sense of beauty and compassion and creation to make and do things that matter to you, whether that be in your relationships or in the work that you do in the world or in all of it or where you're living. There needs to be harmony. There needs to be peace. And like I said, the Two of Cups was at the bottom of the deck when I turned it over. And it is about harmony. It is about harmony. And I just think for you, the boundary you are setting is that if things are not harmonious and giving, you don't want anything to do with them. And your physical body may actually resist and stop you from getting into anything by either fatigue or situation. You may find there are these overriding systems that even come in to say, no, that's not for you. And you'll know it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. I do know this in my bones, in the marrow of my bones, in my soul, in my energetic field. This is where I have to go. I am meant to go into the sun. I am meant to go into harmony. I am meant to be surrounded by compassionate, loving people, and I am meant to exude that energy myself. The knowing isn't going anywhere, you guys, so I'm just going to tell you that right now, but it's all for your good. I love you guys so much. I'm wearing my favorite Taurus, PinkLune. She has this amazing jewelry. I'm wearing the crown because I just love it. And but she always has amazing stuff. I will leave her Etsy shop and her promo code for a little discount for you viewers out there in my description box. You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Verba. I would love to see you guys over there. I do a lot of energy updates on Instagram. It's a great way to connect with me more throughout the month. You can also find me on my website, SARAHTAROT.com. You can book a session there. I would love to work with you guys. I do intuitive tarot readings where we look at your energetic cycles. We feel through that and we figure out where you can leverage and where you can move forward and through different aspects of life. I would love to do one with you, so go check out my website for that. I'm sending you guys so much love. I will continue to be putting up moon magics for these moons coming up and for some new transits coming through. So I love you guys so much. Have an amazing April, and happy birthday to the April Tauruses out there.